We outfitted this tent. It used to be a chapel. Even the less pious Crusaders will come here to say their prayers when the final battle is upon us. I've seen it happen in my previous campaigns. Stern Ray, a healing light, the goddess of the sun and redemption. Aristil, Torag, and Desna. There's the altar of Amude. You may not be the one playing, but as a viewer, your opinion matters, Jamie. As I said. More loot. I don't know why I'm looting my own goddamn camp just to sell it back to them, but... ah well, shit happens. This is the field hospital. The last the clerics of Kenabres suffered especially heavy losses, so we're in desperate need of healers. Also, Camellia can't be that bad. She's in the hospital. Like, she's looking. She must. I don't know if. I still don't know what thing she is. It's free real estate. Damn right it is. Nothing better than free stuff. Find the recruits of Nerison. It's an honor. It was an honor and we can't let her down. Hope you don't. A group of soldiers is talking loudly, laughing joyfully, and passing around a flask. But picture this, my sword is by the fire, there is 2 goblins about to snatch it, and 3 more digging through my tent, and I'm sat in the bushes wearing just my mail shirt, wondering what the blast to do. Not mercenary told me about the mail shirt. You can't sleep in armor, but it's not so bad. It's not so bad in mail. Once you get used to it. Too bad no one told me not to go into the bushes without my sword. So what did you do? What did I do? I barked like crazy. Goblins are afraid of dogs, you know. They all went wild and started running around. I spot my sword, and they spot me, so I jump over the fire, wearing nothing but my mail shirt, and I grab my sword, and I yell in my big voice, "Oh, Inheritor, grant me the power to crush these filthy creatures." My sword shining, the goblins are screaming. I jump to attack them, and they fight back, but I fall them off somehow. But ever since, I never take a step without my weapon. Dealer takes a sip from my flask. That's some story. Hey, stop gulping. Leave some for us. We only just set off and you're already drinking? And with the queen in the camp, stop this at once. The knights quickly snap her attention. Sealer raises a flask and says loudly, "Right you are, Commander Tirablade. We are drinking to the queen's health. Sealer, show some discipline." Sealer becomes serious and puts the flask away. "My apologies, Commander." "Better. You're a paladin in an army, not a mercenary in a raiding party. Make sure you act like it." Holy crap, we have a Cyclops? Grandma Gerritlin, the director, a well-dressed old dwarf, is lecturing a motley company, shaking her ladle at them belligerently. Noticing you, she slings her hands up. Good afternoon, your commanderness. You remember us? We're the crew from next door theatre company, the one you saved in Kenabres, back when you weren't commanderness yet. As you can see, we've come to the campaign with you. We've signed up to clean pots and mend the soldiers' clothes. Keeping our theatre is expensive, so we have to take side jobs. We don't stop what we're doing. We're going to put on a play about your legendary feats. Of course, the crowd senses are difficult. We can't find the people to play the Hordes of Demons, and we decided to against using a ritual to summon real demons. Luckily, we have Master Ken. He invented a way for us to solve using problems using sound. We got to Pig and some piglets who ran away from the burned-out village. The glum, husky half-orc rumbles softly. We put the piglets in a box to scare them a little. The sound they make is just like an approaching demon horde. But the most important question is, of course, to the lead actor who will play the Great Knight Commander. We had a right barrier of army over it, breaking a number of lances as well as a shovel, a rolling pin, and a set of black scratches. We just couldn't decide on no matter what. Maybe you could help us. We have 2 candidates that are most suited to the role. One will have the honor of conveying your heroism on the stage. Don't you have any other actors who vaguely resemble me? We're a small and poorly funded theatre. We only have a few actors, but they're all so talented, one of a kind. I've chosen the ones that are best fit for the role. Trust my vision, I have more than a few successful plays under my belt. A Cyclops actor? He's completely tame, believe me. He has a few issues with the articulation, but a powerful physique. We'll make him a nice costume, wash him up, brush his hair. Truth be told, in our show, you mainly just make short, heroic exclamations at a faithful moment like, "Onward!" or "We'll never give up," or "My heart burns with courage." Lambkin can definitely handle the script. To be played by a gnome. Not a gnome, 2 gnomes, rumbled Arafita twins. One of them sits on the other's shoulders and puts a long coat so they hear player can play tall characters. They switch places every so often. So each gets their moment of fame, and then when they're that way they only have to learn half the script. All right, I've made my decision. What should we do, chat? Are we going with 2 gnomes in a trench coat or a cyclops? I love Pathfinder so much. They know how to nail comedy in such a way that it doesn't feel like it's taken anything from the seriousness of the game. Like, it's perfect D&D comedy, or perfect tabletop comedy. Gnomes? Yeah, that's what I was thinking, to be honest. I personally was like the Cyclops, and then when I realized it was 2 gnomes, because technically they're both there, and I was looking like that, so I could only see the one. I want to be played by the gnomes. I will be played by the gnome twins. Wonderful! So we took you away from all the all-important things heroes and commanders do. We're off to rehearsal. I mean, first we'll wash some pots, and then we're off to rehearsal. Let's go, you lazy stunt barrel grandma now. That I want to see. Hey, Samael, I was trying to say the Knight Commander commands the Knight. It's really fast, and I almost twisted my tongue. But that's the exit. I'm not allowed to go that way just yet. What are we missing? Examine the campsite of the Eagle Watch. I thought I already had. I mean, I've already stole everything around here. Isn't that the same? These are the fights of the Eagle Watch. I personally chose everyone standing here, and I'm ready to vouch for each of them. Into Terrorblade's tent. The Cyclops just decks you. This is my Nevia's tent. We're both used to traveling, but the Queen insisted our tent to be furnished like a commander's office. Well, I'm looting you too. Ooh! Right, if that's full plate, I'm going to be pissed off. Half plate of vigor. What you're saying is, the armor that I've just given her, I now have a better alternative for. A fuck you game. Someone else will use that full plate. It's fine. Knew I should have looted the goddamn camp first. This is my own fucking fault. The massive bed is clean and neatly made. Only commanding officers are allowed such luxury during marches. I should have known. Yes, we just need to talk to the Queen now. I kind of want to go over here and see if there's anything we can nick. I mean, requisition for our forces. And actually, before we do go, we will actually sell what the rest of the stuff we picked up. Okay, we're keeping cold iron stuff because cold iron stuff is good. Now I'll keep the half plate because there's no point in selling it. Alright, let's go speak to the Queen before she gets all uppity that I've just pissed about for like good 20 minutes. Okay, let's put this stuff in our chest and we'll talk. The Queen meets you with a stare. She has dropped the pompous air which she announced the 5th Crusade. The face of a ruler of Mendev appears calm and thoughtful. She has made her move and now awaits her opponent's reply.
Commander, I'm satisfied with the troop review, but I do not expect they will be sufficient for the task. You will have to prove yourself a shrewd leader and hire the necessary troops with the provided funds. I have chosen a target for your campaign, and that target is Dresden, our lost outpost within the Worldwound. The Sword of Valor was kept there, a banner that was once carried by Iomade herself. Our greatest relic was lost when the city fell. I should make one thing clear from the start. The Sword of Valor is no mere symbol. but a powerful weapon against demons. The holiness of the banner weakens them and robs them of one of their most dangerous abilities, teleportation. A forced march to Dresden awaits you. The Sword of Valor is kept somewhere within the Citadel. The demons probably think it's a hunting trophy. Its recovery is just as important as retaking the city itself. I hope the task is clear. I'm sending 2 specialists to help you, along with the soldiers. A historian, Nura Denduar, and a cleric, Soziel Vainik.
The Queen nods to the human man and the young halfling woman standing next to her.
One of the famous inquisitors of the Church of Iomade also wants to talk to you. The Honorable Leota, whom everyone calls Hawkblade.
I do not wish to keep you, Commander. The matter I must discuss with you is extremely important, but it is not directly related to the Crusade. You no doubt wish to meet your new comrades and speak with Her Majesty. Therefore, I shall leave you now, but I ask that you seek me out in the camp at your earliest convenience.
Hi! Listen, it's amazing here. It's like I'm in a ballad. There's knights in shining armor, deadly dangers, glorious feats. We are going to show those demons! I'm so tired of sitting in a library reading books about history. It's time I took part in it!
I'm glad to help our cause, Commander. If you have some time later, I'd like to speak with you further.
You'll have plenty of time to talk. You're the Knight Commander's people now, his trusted advisors and companions. Now then, will you please leave us? Irabeth, you can go too.
When we met at Defender's Heart, I never imagined you'd make me the commander of the new crusade.
Some actions may be deemed bold, or even extreme, and beyond those, there are some you might call the Queen's last resort. I am not a simple monarch. I am at war with the Abyss, a war which has lasted over 100 years. I cannot allow myself the luxury of caution. In you, I see a chance, and I am willing to stake everything on it. However, you cannot blame me for putting you in charge of the crusade. I only formalized what had already happened in the hearts and minds of many. People spoke of the power that descended upon you and helped you save the Wardstones from corruption and total destruction. Word of this feat quickly spread far beyond the borders of Mendev. There was no other person who could better fit the role of Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade.
I have some questions about my mission to retake Dresden.
Of course. I shall answer.
How did the demons manage to conquer Dresden?
That's a good question. Its walls were built by dwarf craftsmen, and the power of the Sword of Valor protected the city. Alas, where raging hordes failed, a single lying tongue was all they needed to succeed. The demoness Minago convinced a young and ambitious crusader named Staunton Vane that the banner belonged on the battlefield. He went on a daring and unapproved raid, and the banner ended up in the enemy's hands. The city fell soon after. Ever since then, for 7 decades, it has served as a citadel for the forces of the Abyss.
Staunton Vane. I saw him at the Grey Garrison. He defected to the demoness side.
Oh, really? I wasn't informed of this. After Dresden fell because of Staunton, he was nearly sentenced to death. He deserved it. In wartime, men are hanged for far less. But you have no idea what a terrible sight it is. A raging crowd of crusaders baying for blood. Never have my fighters looked so much like the demons we are fighting. I commuted Staunton's sentence and stripped him of his rank. Not just for him, but for my army and my country. We are not Hell Knights. We do not maintain discipline with public executions.
It was a tough choice, I understand.
Thank you for your support. The longer you live, the more things you do, and the more criticism you endure. Today, many blame me for all manner of reasons, and few try to understand my actions. Your words warm my soul.
What forces are at my disposal?
Everyone we saw today at the parade. First among them, the Eagle Watch, who remain a powerful force thanks to Irabeth's resourcefulness. Also marching with you are several minor knightly orders, as the minor volunteer units like to be called. And finally, I have personally selected some recruits from Neurosian. They have little in the way of battle experience, but great determination and a thirst to prove themselves. I've always thought that an army benefits from at least one such unit. These forces, as I said, are not enough for a march on Dresden. You will have to hire additional troops with the funds that have been provided to you. But for a brave commander, and I hope you are one, that is just the beginning. If you retake Dresden, recover the holy power of the Sword of Valor, and gain a foothold in the region, then new armies will join under your banner. The Fifth Crusade is only beginning. Many battles and victories lie ahead.
It's been decades and no one has managed to retake the city. Why do you think we're different?
We have a chance now that we haven't seen in decades. But it's more than that. You created this chance for us by foiling the demon's plans in Kenabres. The army who attacked the city came straight from Dresden. Demon hordes from the Abyss are usually encamped there, but many of them perished on the streets of Kenabres. We must attack swiftly before they can restore their forces. When the city is free and the Sword of Valor appears before our soldiers, they won't be sending in any more reinforcements. Demons cannot teleport into an area protected by the banner of the goddess.
What about the long-term goals? Do you know how to get rid of the Worldwound forever?
Now you are talking like a real knight commander. However, answering your question is not easy. To win this war, we must bar the demon's way. There are a few planar rifts leading to the Abyss across the territory we call the Worldwound. The best specialists we could find have tried to close them on separate occasions, with no success, as you may have guessed. The Worldwound is more than just a chain of portals to the Abyss. We do not understand its nature yet. The methods of rift closure known to magical science simply do not work here. However, we have a hypothesis, and a rather well-grounded one, that we must begin at the source of the problem, the place where the Worldwound was opened. The main rift lies through the city of Iz and the Threshold Fortress, deep in the former lands of Socorus. We have never managed to fight our way so far and gain a foothold to allow the mages to explore the origins of the Worldwound. So, the next step, after you succeed in Dresden, is an offensive push deeper into the Worldwound, with the aim of reaching Threshold. The very threshold of the Abyss.
I have no more questions.
Wonderful.
You know the souls of the angels from heaven are confined within the Wardstone?
I had guessed as much. Many angels fought alongside us in the First Crusade. Heaven was unable to mobilize its full might to aid us, but individual celestials volunteered to fight for our cause. Then one day, they all vanished, saying that they were setting off on an important mission. Not long after, Iomede's herald erected the first wardstone in Kenabres, and then the others in cities across Mendev. Even back then, I had nagging doubts, but my faith in Iomede easily assuaged them. It is for us to serve the goddess after all, not to question her works. Nevertheless, I am pleased that you solved the mystery of the wardstone in Kenabres, and were able to save this gift of Iomede. It was a deed worthy of a knight commander of the Fifth Crusade.
The Queen subtly inclines her head in a solemn acknowledgement of your service. You should know I received an unusual gift in the caves beneath Kenabres. In a vision, I saw the death of an angel called Lariel. Somehow he was able to grant me the ability to reveal the light of heaven.
Lariel. I knew him. He disappeared shortly before the Worldwound grew, and Dresden fell into the enemy's hands. In the chaos, we had more important concerns than investigating the fate of a single angel. Even one so righteous and beloved as Lariel. And afterward, matters took a turn for the worse. The angels left us to go on this special mission. It is so strange to hear the names I used to hear when I was young, like getting a message from the past. It is sad news, but it brings me back to the times when we strongly believed in our victory, and we rushed headlong toward it without fear. Could it be that such times have come again?
You remember this?
Get this. I thought this relic was destroyed many years ago. How strange it is to see it whole again. At one time, it gave me hope. I am pleased that this object will serve the crusade once more.
Queen's eyebrows shoot up in surprise. Her hand twitches as if she's trying to reach the relic on its own accord. The queen stills its movement. I had a vision of Iomade giving her covenant to you.
I was young and did not fully understand the magnitude of the duty that had been entrusted to me. Iomade gave me hope and strength to see me through the trials ahead, and in so doing, she won my everlasting loyalty.
You still remember the oaths you swore in battle?
Always. No matter how arduous, no matter how dark the skies, no matter how much blood flows from my wounds, I shall stand with you. We shall fight for our loved ones and our friends, for the right to live and die free. We shall do everything we possibly can, and after that, we shall begin to do the impossible. And if the hour should come when our arms can no longer raise our swords, our bodies will become a shield to cover those who still have strength to fight. I, Golfrey, Queen of Mendev, swear this to you. This is my vow.
You withstood a blow from Aureli Voresh in that battle.
I would proudly declare that to be true, and say that even Aureli Voresh could not kill me on her first attempt. But to do so would be boasting. I was protected by my goddess. However, I was glad to see that, no matter how great the betrayer of humanity's power, it is nothing as compared to Iomede's might.
I would like to keep this relic, wearing this relic.
Then so you shall. What matters is that the covenant of the inheritor has been recovered. Perhaps it should be in your hands now, because you have greater need of it. But should you ever feel that you no longer need this relic, I ask that you give it to me. I would be delighted to touch it again.
And what are you going to do?
Overlooking a spot of insubordination just at the moment. However, I shall answer you. I shall prepare the defenses at Nerosian and all the other border cities and plan the future of the Fifth Crusade. Does that satisfy your curiosity, Knight Commander?
My queen, I'd ask that you remain with us. The Dresden campaign is the hope of the crusade, and the blessing of Iomade that you carry may be decisive in this battle.
What is this I hear? A polite attempt to appeal to the conscience of an old sovereign? I don't know if you realize what you're suggesting. If our enemies in the depths of the wound were to discover that I was with your army, they would immediately send their most vicious demons to attack. They would stop at nothing to be rid of me, and thereby sow chaos across Mendev. But you are right. I shouldn't be sitting it out in the rear. I am a warrior queen, and a queen of warriors. Yet my fighters have forgotten what I look like. Fine. I shall join the crusade, but on my own terms. First, I shall assemble my entourage and lead the parade out of the camp. I shall catch up with you later, along with a few hand-picked bodyguards. We'll change our armor, and I'll become a knight of a minor order and join the troops incognito. Until we approach Dresden, no one should know I am among you. But before we storm the city, I shall show myself to the troops and join the battle. Let it be a surprise for the demons. I hope you won't complain of my company on the road, Commander, since you were the one who insisted upon it. Do you have any other questions?
The task is clear.
Splendid. Ah, yes. We have one final matter to attend to. It should be rather enjoyable.
The queen gives you an impish wink.
Count, there you are. You received my instruction?
I did, though I did not have time to read the thing before I was dragged before your majesty. In truth, I was readying myself to depart.
No matter. I trust you will forgive your sovereign for the rather brusque summons, especially when you learn what prompted it. As you are aware, he has recently been appointed my Knight Commander of the Fifth Crusade. I spent a long while pondering whom to appoint to the highly sensitive post of Commander's Field Attaché and Advisor Plenipotentiary without portfolio. Congratulations, Count.
It is a great honor, I suppose.
Darren's cool expression wavers, but he seems to not fully be cognizant of what is happening. That, or is holding himself tightly in check. A rather frivolous gesture for a queen.
The adequacy of any measure can only be assessed against the reason that prompted it. Isn't that so, Count?
The queen lets slip a sliver of a smile. She looks at as she looks at Darian.
I had my doubts about whether you were ready for such a responsibility, Count. But your conduct in Kenabres has put my mind at ease. So, you will travel with the troops to Dresden. Only the commander may remove you from your post. But I trust that you will dutifully fulfill his orders and make a good showing of yourself. Especially since word of your appointment, Count, will reach the court at any moment. All of Mendev's nobility will be following your successes in service to the nation, including all of your devoted admirers. I even heard that one bard with whom you are particularly friendly has already begun composing a ballad to honor your heroic participation in the crusade and your faithful service to the commander here.
Your largesse truly knows no bounds, dear cousin. I am most gratified by the honor you have shown me.
The Count offers a bow, either a sign of respect or in order to hide his flushed face. Only the barest quiver can be heard in his voice.
Then let's get going. May Ayomade help us.
Oh, there's nothing better than when a guy like that gets his just desserts. Oh. But anyway, like, I'm just going to be right back, guys. I'm just going to go quickly grab myself a drink and change my headset because my headset's annoying me. So give me 2 seconds, guys. Alright guys, sorry about that. Let's keep going. I must admit the sound quality of my earbuds is so much shitter than my headset, but my headset is killing my ears. Right. So, the Queen has set off. Let's talk to Anevia. Anevia sweeps an inquisitive glance over you. So tell me straight, how'd that brawl in the Grey Garrison end? I heard the rumors, of course. That's kind of my job, you know, to listen. You have no idea what cobblers the Crusaders say about you. Some say that Ayomade came to you and appointed you her herald. Others say that you died, and an honest-to-God angel is now leading the army in disguise as you. Still, others say it was just an explosion at the alchemist lab, and I'm the one spreading rumors about your powers. I wish. But you know, really have changed since the Grey Garrison. It's hard to describe, but you've become kinda... Anevia waves her hand, trying to find the word. Stronger? More dangerous. I have a gut instinct about these things. If I didn't, I'd already be dead. You're dangerous, Commander, and by Desna, I hope you'll be dangerous to our enemies and not to us. Or to yourself. Well, I have to go. Thanks, Anevia. I like you. Ah, damn. We don't have an alchemist kit. Nor do we have a scroll-making kit. So we kind of... Wait, do we need to... Do we... Okay, so... I have an idea. I have a really evil idea as well. Let's go talk to Seela. The League of Inspiring Cart. Visit the abandoned house. Oh, right, we can do these. Oh my god, we have so much shit we can do. Ah, we need to go talk to Irabeth. Commander, allow me to say something. Irabeth looks even more serious than usual. Before you, This wasn't a war. It was agony, drawn out over decades. No one believed in victory anymore. When the demons attacked the city, for some it was a relief. At last the end had come. They laid down their weapons and surrendered without a fight. I felt the same thing. But I somehow got through on stubbornness and the vague hope that if nobody found Nevia's body, she might be some miracle have survived. And that miracle was you. You returned my beloved to me, when I'd nearly lost all hope of seeing her alive again. Then you went on a suicide mission to Grey Garrison and won the city back for us. You turned a defeat into a victory. I know it wasn't easy, but you make everything seem so effortless. You do everything just like that. She says with a snap of her fingers. The Queen believes in your powers too, but for me, they're just more proof of what I felt that day when I saw Nevia alive, standing next to you. You're a miracle we've been waiting for. You're the one who will finally put an end to this terrible war, and in spite of everything, deliver us to the victory we so desperately need. With you, I'm sure this crusade will achieve what the others could not. Let me ask a few personal questions. Please, but I must warn you, there are some things I don't have the right to discuss. We need reinforcements. Can you get us more? Over France, when we began the march out on Dresden, we chose speed over numbers. If I ordered more volunteers to be recruited, they simply won't arrive in time. We could pay mages to deliver the troops to us, to the camp, except I doubt that the army's coffers could afford it. If you can spare even 7,500 coins, if you can spare 7,500 coins, I will see to our reinforcements. Perhaps later. I have to go. Hey.
I will guide us.
Where is it? You. Come here. I saw you talking to that girl hiding her face. What was she and what did she want? I don't know, Commander. She never introduced herself, but I bet she's not part of our army. I know all soldiers by name and sight. Volker frowns gloomily, his cordiality gone in an instant. She was looking for some elf volunteer. Wanted to know which tent he was sleeping in. At first I thought she was a messenger from Mendev. She definitely wasn't one of us. But now I see now I see how it all looks so mighty shifty. The quartermaster eyes you with concern. She was some spy then. Give me what you have. I need to somehow make more money. I'll sell all of them. I don't seem to need them at the moment. Okay, they don't sell for that much. The Tank of the Free Spirit. Oh, no, we're keeping that. That can fuck off. Okay. We'll make some more money soon. See what I mean? We're now robbing Horgus Worm. Horgus Worm has been expecting you, thumb stuck in his belt. There you are. I've been waiting. As you see, I have too joined the crusade. I don't know how to swing the sword, but the war is costly, and I have money. Besides, my intellect and business sense may prove useful even on the battlefield. Besides, I believe, Horgus shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. I believe I owe an apology. The way I behaved was rude, ill-mannered. You are an honest and honorable person. You have clawed your way up from the bottom of society to the title of Knight Commander, and you are friends with Queen Galfrey herself. Such persistence deserves respect. Horgus tilts his head in a brief acknowledgement of your merits. Please allow me to give you this magic amulet from my humble personal treasury to mark our future cooperation. Why have you decided to support the Crusades now? With all due respect, that's none of your business. I have my reasons. Perhaps I felt a rush of patriotism when Kenabres was destroyed. Anyways, why would you think I never supported the Crusades? Perhaps I simply don't like to brag about my donations. Ostentation charity only attracts beggars. I'd wager that Irabeth has no idea whose money she's spending on those drinks and supplies. Oh, I have to go. Have fun. What do you think of the powers you received from me? Humilius shrugs nonchalantly. People of noble descent grow accustomed to ample opportunity. The powers I received from you are useful, but I see no point in treating them as with excessive piety. You're Horgus' daughter. You discovered my most terrible secret. Father cares so much about the Gwyrm name that he raised me in our mansion, away from the whole world. I'll always be grateful my father from his done, even if... Yeah, so he's... Yeah, I already asked him that.
Godspeed.
We'll let those guys do what they're doing. So,
I was successful in my search.
hey, Kenabres be damned. Anonymous pamphlet. I spit on the streets of Kenabres. I spit on the granite walls and its stained glass windows. If tomorrow the ground trembles, splits apart, devours this cursed city, I will not shed one tear. No one here, not a single soul, deserves any compassion. Everyone who lives in this city is a criminal. If there's any justice in this world, every one of them will be hanged from the gallows, Prelate Hurlin and Queen Gallifrey chief among them. Ask anyone on the streets what they know of the mongrels. The answer will be a dumb silence or the lowered gay eyes of a scoundrel who knows their crimes, but doesn't want to think about it. Mongrels, a disgusting nickname, which the residents of the city have given their brave Crusader heroes who defeated the forces of evil, but paid for it with their health. Covered with scabs and tumors, bloated and gnarled, they will no longer beautiful enough to be tolerated by the very people they'd saved. As a reward for their heroism, the city dwellers exiled them to the sewers and damp caves beneath the city. The author of these words went down there and spoke of them, and I'll have you know that the ugliest among them is still more noble than all of the paladins of Mendev. Not to mention that head-chopping prelate and his murderous queen. And if any pretend that today's city's dwellers aren't responsible for the crime of their grandfathers, then I will spit on their face, for the grandchildren of the exiled ones are still down here, crawling in the mud and eating garbage. And everyone who knows about this does nothing, and everyone who should know about but prefers blissful ignorance. I say they are all guilty, and they repeat the same crime every day. As long as this doesn't change, any citizen who desires to fight a demon should take a knife and stab himself in the stomach. Your city is already rotten, and you are no better than the demons. And if anyone would repent this terrible wrong, they should turn their weapons and punish on the prudish paladin who preach good but defend an order that flies in the face of justice. Down with the paladins, down with the Prelate Hurlin, and down with Queen Gallifrey. Oh, we're going to keep that and try and figure out who the fuck said that, and then we'll murder them. Did new loot just spawn? Because if it did, I'm not complaining. It just means I have more stuff to loot. Okay, we'll be setting out in a moment. Yeah, loot has actually respawned.